was yesterday night right there in the city of Leipzig against a fellow European finalist debutant, talking about Rayo Vallecano. 1 goal to the end in favor of Crystal Palace to give Crystal Palace their first ever European trophy, and that would also the most successful Crystal Palace spell. Talking about the last 1 year, just as they've been able to win the FA Cup, they've been able to win the Community Shield, and now the UEFA Conference League final. Well, a little over 10 months ago, when the Crystal Palace were meant to progress into the UEFA Europa League, but due to ownership rules, they had to be relegated to the Conference League. But trust me, nobody that has any affiliation with the Eagles will be able to complain right now. But of course, for next season, they will be playing UEFA Europa League football for next season. So guys, welcome to the Thursday edition of Sports Cruise Live from 98.3 FM at the sound of Lagos. A surprise and shocking is the fact that world number one, talking about Jannik Sinner, has now been knocked out of the French Open in what is yet again the biggest shock of the tournament so far, after struggling with injury in a 5-set loss to João Manuel Serundolo in the second round in a sweltering Paris condition. Yesterday, as we also had the world number two in the women's category, talking about Elena Rybakina also being knocked out as well, because just before then she was expected to fight it out with world number one, talking about Aryna Sabalenka. And talking about Aryna Sabalenka as well, I know she's also in action, just as Coco Gauff is currently leading proceedings in a game that is being played as well. And of course, just like we also mentioned as well, Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka are in second round action. We'll try as much as possible, to preview all of that on the show this evening. And of course, we have now gotten a confirmation that the 2026 Ballon d'Or Awards will be hosted in the city of London. And this comes just as the organizers announced on Thursday. The last time, yes, exactly, the Ballon d'Or 2026 award will be hosted for the first time in London on October 26th to mark the 70th anniversary of the trophy being awarded to England's Stanley Matthews. That was back in 1956. And obviously, because of the big one coming up on Saturday, talking about the UEFA Champions League final between Arsenal as well as PSG, on the show this evening we'll take much of our time to preview the game that will be decided later tonight. It's going to be a big clash. We'll talk about the potential deals. We'll talk about the potential potential battles we will be seeing or noticing on the pitch. And of course, it's also another opportunity for Arsenal to get their European first ever trophy. Talking about the UEFA Champions. Don't forget as well that Arsenal failed to win the UEFA Champions. That was the last time they went into the final. That was back in 2006 when they lost to Barcelona, despite taking the lead back then. We'd also try as much as possible to maybe compare the 2006 squad as well as the 2026 squad, if this particular squad is fit enough or can go all the way far to defeat the current holders of the competition, talking about PSG. So again, guys, welcome to Sports Cruise from 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Aɗɪ Tọ́mọ̀bánjọ, also known as _. There's also Superstar here in the studio, talking about ᴑᴏᴜ Akínyẹ̀dé. Together we'll also take a look at all of these things I've also outlined. And don't forget that you can join the conversations around 36,000 will allow all of you to predict the Champions League final much later right in the show. And do not also forget as well that apart from that's on Facebook as well as on YouTube, just go there to search for us. You get to find us there, or maybe you get to listen to us on our official website www.98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Well, it's been a long day so far. We are still currently in the mood of the Eid celebrations, and of course we are also still celebrating the children. However, public holiday ends today, and of course work resumes tomorrow. But it's been a wonderful day so far. A cold day, by the way. Obviously the midnight was just so chill. I think I was talking about the fact that I struggled to sleep during the midnight. But here we are again, ready to go again for arguably, or rather I say, the last English edition of Sports Cruise from 98.3 FM for the week. Not just even for the week, I think it's even for the month, if I'm not mistaken. How has the day been so far for you?
Well, it's been a big day. It's Thursday. I've had the compliment of enjoying some good old songs because today is Throwback Thursday on the station. So you get to enjoy good music, songs with meanings and lyrics and good storytelling. And so because our songs of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s are maybe just some early 2000s. So it's been a good day apart from the weather. But of course, it's not just a good day because it's a good day. It's a good day because two of my predictions have come to pass. I said it after the first leg of the semi-finals of both of the Champions League, the Europa League, and the Conference League, that 3 English teams will make it to the final. The 3 of them would win their competitions. Aston Villa defeated Freiburg. And Crystal Palace yesterday defeated Rayo Vallecano. Funny enough, it's shocking that the player that was booed when he came back because he went and failed a medical at AC Milan, talking about Mateta, and happened to be the one that scored the only goal that won the Europa League for them. In all, he scored 15 goals in all competition for Crystal Palace this season.
From 0 to hero.
I mean, it's crazy. And it's been a last explosive 1 year for Crystal Palace, Oliver Glasner, and Steve Parish, the owner of the club. I remember, just like you said, Crystal Palace had to drop to the Conference League because of dual ownership. And I'm sure they probably wouldn't have won the Europa League with the form Aston Villa was going into the Europa League.
Yeah, you're right.
So they got into the Conference League and they had a good run. In fact, they had to play the playoffs to remain in the Conference League. And just look at them. They had a very beautiful Cinderella story, got to the final. Oliver Glasner living on a high, the most successful era in the history of Crystal Palace, the last 12 months. And despite the fact that they lost a couple of their key players, Magay going to Manchester City, Eberichize going to Arsenal, and you look at that balance, the fact that the manager also announced way early into the season that was going to be leaving at the end of the season. People thought it was going to distort the rhythm of the side, and they play good football in the Premier League. There was not a time they were at the a threat of being relegated. They knew what they had to do. They lost their last home game of the season to the champions. They let Arsenal 2-1. Mateta still scoring the only goal in that particular game. And then you look at how structured they were all through the Conference League, and they knew they had to get the job done. And they won the FA Cup at defeating Manchester City
in the final.
They also won, they won the Community Shield. They defeated Liverpool in the final, and of course they won off.
Yeah.
And now yesterday they defeated Rayo Vallecano. And so, I mean, talking about leaving when the ovation is loudest, even if Mateta decides to leave, now I'm sure nobody will question him. To know how much influence he had in the side. When he scored yesterday, everybody did the same celebration, corner flag kick, even the players on the bench. It shows how influential. And of course, he made it to the French team, to the World Cup. He's probably going to be starting depending on whatever they choose to roll with. But it's been a very interesting, 1 year for Steve Parish, Crystal Palace, Oliver Glasner, their key players. And I'm happy at what we saw yesterday. Not the sweetest of game, but of course, with a team where both of them were making their debut in the European final. You knew that it was going to be decided by tiny details. Rayo Vallecano had their chances earlier in the game. It was a game of almost both halves, and then Crystal Palace got in 50-something minutes into the game. Mateta got the goal, and that was about the end of it. Fantastic evening of football, and it's a good sell for English football if you have 3 of your teams going into the finals of the 3 competitions of UEFA, and the 3 of them wins it. And for Arsenal, it is 48 hours to glory. By the way, so people shouldn't get it twisted. The final is not 8 p.m. on Saturday, it is 5 p.m. So a lot of people, you have to readjust your timetable so that you don't wake up and say, let me go and watch and then the final and then you meet title trophy presentation. So it's 5 p.m. on Saturday, and like I said, it's a time with destiny. Maybe we would come back from the break. I would have enough time to look into the head-to-heads, the number of goals both teams have scored, the number of goals both teams have conceded, the highest goal scorers, the players to look out for, the key players. It's a game of the champions of England versus the champions of France. It's a game of 2 Spanish managers. One has won it before, one had never won it before, one had never got into the final before. It's a game that will be decided by tiny details. 44 goals already scored, by PSG this season. 29 by Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 29 by Arsenal this season. Considered goals. Yes, Arsenal have got the best defense in the Champions League this season. They've considered only 6 goals, and they're yet to lose a single game in the Champions League this season. And this will not be the first team that will be winning the Champions League unbeaten. Manchester United did it back to back. Yep. Going unbeaten and then winning it as well. Celtic did it as well. In the Champions League. So even Manchester City. So it's not new, but of course it's going to be amazing. So Arsenal could transition from being the Invincibles, probably the best team, the best side from Arsenal, but who could have the unforgettable if Arsenal and this Arteta boys wins a double, which is the Premier League, the first in 22 years. Yep. And of course, they've scored 120 goals this season. So far. So when people say Arsenal don't score goals from set pieces, Arsenal scored 120 goals this season. From those goals, they've scored 71 in the Premier League. They had 11 in the FA Cup and 9 in the League Cup. And in the Champions League, you'll be shocking that they've had 29 goals already in the Champions League. Martinelli is the highest goal scorer for them in the Champions League with 6 goals. For PSG, they've scored 44. Just 1 goal to equal Barcelona's 1999-2000 record of 45 goals in the Champions League season. So there's a lot. See, we have a lot of numbers tonight.
Should I tell you a statistic?
Which one is that one?
The last time an English side won the UEFA Conference League, an English side went on to win the Europa League, and PSG won the Champions League.
What's that teaching us?
History. Is history about to repeat itself?
Who won the Europa League last season?
Europa League? That was Tottenham.
Who won the Conference League last season?
That was Chelsea.
And where are both of them now?
But what I was trying to bring out, was the last time those things happened.
We are both bringing things out. Both of us brought things out. Now you think you can corner me? Both of us brought things out. Tottenham must escape relegation by 2 points. Chelsea are not going to Europe next season. They finished 10th. So what has that taught us?
Okay, we have to go pay some bills. When we come back, we would open the conversation again for the preview of the UEFA Champions League final, the very, very big one. The game is going to be commencing by 5 p.m. and not 8 p.m. By the way, PSG in their 6 Champions League knockout games scored a total number of 18 goals, while Arsenal just conceded 2 goals in their total 6 Champions League knockout games. Let's go on a quick break right now, and of course we'll have more details and more numbers to play around for you. We'll be right back in a jiffy.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
OneXBet, where sports come alive. Join the game on promo on the site or app. Win an iPhone 16 and cash prizes up to 750,000 naira. Enter promo code Nigeria on and boost your game. OneXBet, game on, together in the game. Bet responsibly. 18 plus. T's and C's apply.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom. Sit up, supreme noodles. Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom. Sit up, supreme.
Just sit up, supreme noodles. It go spark up your mood. So delicious, so tasty. Young and old, them love it. Springy, chewy with better aroma. Rich with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom. Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up supreme noodles with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up supreme noodles.
For you, every day is day one. Day one for you to give 100. 100 on the tracks, on the road, at work. Because it's your job to give your all. 100 with the gang. And on the dance floor. Truth is, you are not wired to give less. Your future is now. So live it real, loud, full and free. You live it 100. MTN.
So things done easy for Naija now. It means say CDK don't come with pay small plans easy. Yes, easy. 0 interest, no kobo added, no more market price, na confirm easy. Gadgets, appliances, even cars, everything there. Just download the CDK app today. Easy. Pay small, collect halfway before you pay finish. EasyCare don't make life easy for everybody. Easy. When did you buy it? EasyCare. Easy. Yes, easy. Interest day. No. Interest no day. Oh. Them add money. No. None of our market price.
Yes, so we dey for 82 Ijesha Road, Surulere, Lagos, Nigeria. Green us on top 0707 454 2988 0707 454 2988.
1xBet, where sports come alive. Visit the site or app and join the game and promo. Get a chance to win an iPhone 16, cash prizes up to 750,000 naira, and a weekly free bet of up to 20%. More bets mean more tickets and rewards. Enter the promo code Nigeria on and boost your game to the max. 1xBet, game on, together in the game. Bet responsibly. 18 plus. T's and C's apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this not the sound of ownership. Now your time to shine. CityCare there for you.
Oh yeah.
Five.
Where did you buy it?
CityCare.
Easy. Yes, easy.
First.
Where did you buy it? CityCare. Easy. Yes. Easy. Hey, small. I dey ball with CityCare. Buy wetin I want. No stress, I know they fear. TV, fridge, or even phone. CityCare they there.
Visit us at 82 Ijesha Road, Surulere, Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-745-42988. 070-745-42988.
CityCare, making life easier.
Chai, my head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey kampe. Luta, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom. Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Tasty top supreme noodles, it go spark up your mood. So delicious, so tasty, young and old them love it. Springy, chewy with better aroma, rich with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom. Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Sidap Supreme Noodles with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles boom boom.
Sidap Supreme Noodles.
For you, every day is day one. Day one for you to give 100. 100 on the tracks, on the road, at work. Because it's your job to give your all. 100 with the gang. And on the dance floor. Truth is, you are not wired to give less. Your future is now. So live it real, loud, full and free. You live it 100. MTN.
Chai, my head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey kampe. Luta, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
1xBet, where sports come alive. Visit the site or app and join the game on promo. Get a chance to win an iPhone 16, cash prizes up to 750,000 naira, and a weekly free bet of up to 20%. More bets mean more tickets and rewards. Enter the promo code Nigeria on and boost your game to the max. 1xBet, game on, together in the game. Bet responsibly. 18 plus. T's and C's apply.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
ọ̀rọ̀ màrè ará àdúgbò wọ́n ti gbá ṣàmìràndé wọ́n pè yẹn lónílé gogoro onílé gogoro gbòde bọ́mọdé wéyẹn sẹ́ǹkan ni bàbá bá wé adéwé wọ́n pè yẹn lónílé gogoro Mainland FM lógbòde.
My name is Sᴘᴏʀᴛ. This is Mainland FM 98.3.
Some of them there, you me see, me till low, I'm a flash, I'm a classy, I'm a lenu, enjoy my love, binu, come follow me, spend my money, my love, binu, come follow me, spend my, make it follow me, bumper to bumper, when I stop, make it stop, when I stop, try stop, make it follow me, bumper to bumper, but we no go stop to the celebrate, make it follow me, bumper to bumper, if you want. Bumper to bumper. Make it follow me, bumper to bumper. Don't need to ask no question, just follow my lead. Make it follow me, bumper to bumper. To make sure I don't lose, you keep your eyes on me. Make it follow me. Me. They dance like say they fight Chinese. That's why I call you golden kiss. For all of now and they blow this kiss. No we think about a golden kiss. Soon I don't join me the rock like this. Take this kiss, make it follow me, bumper to bumper. Celebrate, make it follow me, bumper to bumper. If you want to enjoy, follow my bumper. Make it follow me, bumper to bumper. The bad belly people come, we are celebrate. Make it follow me. Don't need to ask no question, just follow my lead. Make it follow me, bumper to bumper. To make sure I don't lose, you keep your eyes on me. Make it follow me. Oh yeah, come see what you see. People.
All right, guys. Close life from 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. We're just when we on that short break, we had someone coming to the studio. But before we reveal, don't forget that it's the Thursday edition of the show. So that means that, of course, all the songs you've been listening to on this radio dial, songs that have been done back in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, as well as the early 2000s. All right, guys, we're now into the final stretch of the show. But before we move over to the UEFA Champions League segment, let's just quickly take some stories from the Roland Garros. Just like we mentioned before we went on that break, Yannick Sinner has now been knocked out of the French Open. And of course, world number one Sinner was the heaviest favorite for the men's title ever since the great Rafael Nadal back in 2009, with no one literally coming close to challenging him on the clay in recent weeks. Don't forget as well that even world number two are talking about Carlos Alcaraz, failed to even participate in this particular one. Jannik Sinner was bidding to complete his own career Grand Slam around Garros, and of course, few expected him to fall short, just as Rafa Nadal suffered at an early exit 17 years ago, and the Italian will now have to wait for another chance to make glory right there in Paris. Sinner was 2 sets and 5-1 up before a remarkable change of momentum, and 24-year-old appeared to labor on court with a dejected expression, just as he lost the next 3 games, including 11 straight points, before calling for the trade. And let's also leave that very, very quickly and then talk about some other results as it stands. Coco Gauff is currently in action, even as she is up against Maya Sherif. And of course, Maya Sherif is really bringing it to Coco Gauff, who is having to use all of her famed skills of court coverage as well as retrieval. Well, yesterday as well, we had world number 2 of the women's category, Elena Svitolina, being knocked out of that one, and that would also mean that she would not be taking over the world number 1 from Aryna Sabalenka. Exactly. Well, and let's also leave that very, very quickly as well and then talk about some other stories in the world of boxing. It looks like Tyson Fury could be returning to action just even before the bout against Anthony Joshua, and this has Tyson Fury has also confirmed that will be making a return to the ring on a August 1st fight, and of course the challenger is still yet to be unknown at this point in time. And this also comes just as we had Anthony Joshua also confirming that he will be up in action again, just as he's scheduled to face Albanian fighter talking about Christian Pringa in Riyadh on the 25th of July as his own warm-up, with a potential meeting between the 2 British heavyweights penciled in for later in the year.
Your folks might understand you by and by. Just move on up toward your destination. Though you may find from time to time complication.
Alright guys, let's also leave that very, very quickly. This is Sports Cruise live from the 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. The final is now set for the Unity Cup on Saturday, just as the Super Eagles of Nigeria would be battling against the Reggae Boys of Jamaica come Saturday, the final of the Unity Cup. And of course, don't forget as well that the last time out, the Super Eagles of Nigeria also won the same Unity Cup, and of course that means that they are the defending champions of the Invitational Tournament. The Reggae Boys of Jamaica yesterday defeated India 2-0 to progress to the final, and well, it's also expected that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will definitely get the job done against the Reggae Boys on Saturday.
So hush not, child, and don't cry.
Moving on very, very quickly as well, Scotland boss, as talking about Steve Clarke, has now signed a new 4-year contract extension, and just as he prepares to lead his team to their first World Cup ever since 1998. Clarke's new deal will keep him in charge out through the 2028 European Championship that will be holding on in UK as well as Ireland, and the 2030 World Cup, ending months of speculation over his future. The 62-year-old whose previous contract was due to expire in July has enjoyed a largely successful reign, where he's recorded 35 wins and 14 draws from 76 matches.
Take nothing less than the supreme best. Do not obey, you must be safe, but you can pass the test.
All right, now moving on very, very quickly to basketball. Oklahoma City Thunder are just 1 win shy for making it, to back-to-back NBA Finals, just as they face off against the San Antonio Spurs much later tomorrow morning by 1:30. You remember that the Oklahoma City Thunder defeated the Spurs to make it 1 win away from the NBA Finals. That was That was the day before yesterday, exactly after they defeated the San Antonio Spurs 127-101 to move to within 1 win. And Gilgeous-Alexander missed his first 4 shots of Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, in Oklahoma City, but recovered with 5 consecutive points to help the Thunder, overturn an early point deficit. 8 points deficit, I beg your pardon. And of course, don't forget as well that the New York Knicks are also, in line for their first NBA Finals for the very, very first time in 27 years. So they are just waiting for either the Oklahoma City Thunder or the San Antonio Spurs game that should be decided, I think, tonight. All the thought has done just needs to do is just to win tonight, and the final will be set. Talking about the New York Knicks up against the defending champions, Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, moving on to very quickly, just a few days to the commencement of the FIFA 2026 tripartite of its kind World Cup, Brazil forward Neymar is set to not play in his country's upcoming friendly matches and could also be missing their World Cup opener. The 34-year-old has been ruled out for 2 to 3 weeks with a calf injury, and that would also mean that he would not play in the home friendly against Panama on Sunday and also against Egypt in a friendly in Cleveland, Ohio on the 6th of June 2026. Five-time winners Brazil will be beginning their World Cup Group C campaign on the 13th of June against Morocco in New Jersey. Then they will be facing Haiti in Philadelphia on the 19th of June and Scotland on the 24th of June in Miami.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. This is still Sports Cruise 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. PSG are aiming to become the first team since Real Madrid back in 2016 to successfully defend their UEFA Champions League crown. And this comes just on Saturday against the champions of England, talking about Arsenal. And the game will be decided at the over 56,000 capacity Puskás Arena in Hungary, and of course the game would be coming up on Saturday by 5 p.m. again 5 p.m. and not 8 p.m. and just like I said as well just before we quickly took all of those sports stories, we had someone walk in, of course one of our own who was here some time ago, and of course decided to just go for new things. It's a pleasure to have on the mic as well as in the studio once again no other person than the person of Triple. I think it deserves to say It's a pleasure to have you once again to the studio, Triple. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been 3
ages
years? Yeah, it's been 3 years. And it's good to be here again. You know, this place has always felt like home, and even till now still feels like home. So let's get the ball rolling.
Well, let's get the ball rolling. But just before we get the ball rolling, I think we need to have an expert analysis, right, on the new manager for Chelsea just ahead of next season, the person of Xabi Alonso. How confident are you of Xabi Alonso's prospect, right, going into next season with Chelsea? Because obviously I'm asking this question because everyone literally knows that you're a Chelsea fan. And how will you also rate the performance of Chelsea in your last season? Not forgetting that before the season commenced, Chelsea won the Conference League, won the FIFA Club World Cup as well, and this time around failed to even qualify for any of the top 3 European competitions as well.
Well, to start with, Xabi Alonso is a top manager. He's one of the best amongst the managers that were on the shortlist. Raiola was on the shortlist. Marco Silva was on the shortlist as well. And when you have a manager like Xabi Alonso, who won 51 or 52 games in an entire season with Bayer Leverkusen, his only loss came in that Europa League final where Lookman said no.
I'm sad.
It's not going to happen. And winning the Bundesliga unbeaten, winning 3 trophies while at Leverkusen. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Dethroning the mighty Bayern Munich. It's not an easy thing to do. I picked up that team from 17th and took them in a little over a year to becoming Bundesliga champions. A tough, not really an easy job for any manager to do. Then he went on to Real Madrid. We know how people like ʔᴑᴜ Akinode, how they behave in that Real Madrid dressing room. General Mbappe. See,
it's General Mbappe for me.
The Real Madrid dressing room is a dressing room that is filled with a lot of ego. And if you are not a manager who has done it, if you are not a veteran manager, it's going to be quite difficult for you to handle all of the egos right there. And that is why they've gone for Jose Mourinho. So coming to Chelsea, my problem is not with Xabi Alonso. He has shown to be a very brilliant mind tactically. My problem is with the sporting directors, whether they will support Xabi Alonso, whether they will allow him to operate as the manager of the club. The good thing is that every other manager under Bluco has come in as a head coach, but he is coming in as a manager, which is slightly different. But with the kind of shege I've experienced being a Chelsea fan under Bluco, seeing is believing. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to get the hopes of Chelsea fans out there up until we start seeing signings. They need to show workings. It's not just by telling us we are interested.
Not by church. Now by action.
Before we clock it, we need to see the kind of talent that we'll be bringing in. We are tired with Okwemi younger brothers that they've been bringing all these boys from Brazil.
I want Willie.
As if we are having
Esteval.
No, Esteval.
Kopama.
I want Kopama. K-O-P-A-M-A.
Do you know the spelling of Kopama? K-O-P-A-M-A.
The thing is, Kopama, he also has...
Did you hear the way Triple pronounce it? It's Kopama now.
It's Kopama. He also has to show that he's not a one-season wonder. At this point in time, I, as an analyst as well, Kopama, if he wants to be on the level of the likes of...
He has to be consistent.
Lamine Yamal. The excuse for this season has been injury. The excuse for last season was injury. This season, injury
as well.
So it's either you have it or not. The best ability any player in the world can have
is consistency.
You have to be available. You have to be consistent. He announced himself, but since then we've not seen anything after his first season. And for Chelsea, left to me, I'm not expecting anything. If you are not expecting much, you cannot be disappointed. All I just want is for Chelsea to try and save us from the embarrassment of Arsenal fans.
Well,
and qualify for Champions League.
Share for next season, right? Okay, for next season
is gone.
But at least you know that 6 points is guaranteed. That's no money way is guaranteed.
For next season, he always comes. He always comes.
The 6 points against Arsenal might always come. But guess what? When Arsenal comes and they give Chelsea, they collect 6 points from Chelsea. Chelsea will collect her. They go point to Tottenham. And that is why I am so excited that Tottenham guaranteed 6 points.
That was a day. Giving one North London brother. But obviously, I mean, because it's the UEFA Champions League preview, I think we just have to cut the relevance to Chelsea right now because Chelsea will not be qualified for the Champions League for next season.
It's okay.
Let's just quickly move over very quickly to the game that will be happening in the city of Budapest at the Puskás Arena, over 67,000 capacity sitting stadium. And if you take a look at the numbers as well very quickly, you see that PSG have scored a total number of 18 goals in their 6 knockout games, while Arsenal have also conceded 2 goals. And I was just saying just before we went to that break as well, that the last time an English side went on to win the UEFA Conference League, an English side went on to win the Europa League, and PSG went on to win the Champions League, and that was last season after Chelsea won the Conference League. We had Tottenham defeating Manchester United in the final of the Europa League to win the Europa League, and of course PSG are making it a one-sided final against Inter Milan, and then deciding to trash them 5 goals to the highest scoring final of all time. But this time around, what exactly are we looking for? So this is going to be the 4th meeting between the both sides ever since they met. That was last year. Don't forget, they met twice last year. They've also met once this season already, and of course course, they will be meeting again on Saturday by 5 p.m. What exactly are we expecting? What are the permutations? What are the predictions? What are the potential duels we are about to see? It was also confirmed yesterday that Dembele, Hakimi are also back in full training for PSG. Is this game going to bring forth the goals that we're expecting, Okoyemi, as well as Triple?
It's a long one. So Triple, you'll have to sit back, relax, and allow me analyze. Yeah, faint.
Because it's not in the final. You're the only person that's supposed to come in the final.
Exactly. So this, and I've always said it. When big boys are playing, when the teams that understand how to play in Europe at the top level are playing, Chelsea fans will have to relax and take notes, take pen and paper, and jot things down. So that in between that period you understand how these things work. And I've said it, there's no magic anywhere. Alonso will not spend 2 years of that deal. He will be sacked. There was a big project from Frank Lampard. They pursued him. There was a big project from
Thomas Tuchel.
Not even Thomas Tuchel. This former
Graham Potter.
Graham Potter had qualified Sweden for the World Cup. The same man that couldn't qualify Chelsea anywhere. But it's Chelsea, so let them stay. Let's talk real football. UEFA Champions League. These are one of my happiest days on the show this year, because now I have someone I can buy. I'm not just doing audio bantering. Now I just want beside me to collect the banter. All right, so it's going to be a magical night. It's a night that promises so much, and I hope it will deliver the same. The UEFA Champions League final last season had PSG and Inter Milan on the banner, and a lot of people thought it was going to be an evenly, poised matchup. And before you could say Jack Robinson, PSG were 4-0 up, and then it was just a matter of respecting Inter Milan and not doing too much damage until they added the 51. And it became a one-sided affair. And then Chelsea also took a big shine of PSG in the final of the FIFA Club World Cup. And before I could say Jack Robinson, Kopama had already dropped 1, 2, 3, and then that was about the end of it. Just like Solomon Grandi, born on Monday, and was everything ended on Saturday. But it's going to be a different ball game on Saturday. We're talking about the best attack versus the best defense. Barcelona up until now have scored 44 goals already in the Champions League this season. Arsenal have scored 29. PSG have also considered about 17 goals. Arsenal have considered only 6. Arsenal remain unbeaten so far in the Champions League. This is 11 wins and 3 draws in 14 Champions League games. In between that period, they've had wins against Athletic Club Bilbao, against Atletico Madrid, against PSG, against Inter Milan, against Atletico Madrid, again over both legs, a draw in Spain, a 1-0 victory at the Emirates Stadium in the semi-final. But if you look at Arsenal's journey, they've only made it to one Champions League final in their 140 years history, and that was in 2006, where they lost that game to Paris. And that season also, they were exceptional. Before that final, Jens Lehmann did not concede a single goal in 900 minutes of Champions League football until he got red carded because of that foul. And then Manuel Almunia came in and it was G3, he was struggling. So Campbell even gave Arsenal the lead. By the end of the day, the rain started, and Ujo first scored, and then it became difficult. Samuel Eto'o got the equalizer, a masterpiece of a performance from Ronaldinho for that particular game. And then Belletti came in and then got the job done, and the 2-1 victory for Barcelona. And then the following season, Henry, the man that lost about 6 chances in the final, was on his way to Barcelona to win the Champions League again. So since then, Arsenal have not been there. In fact, in 139 years history of Arsenal, they've only made one Champions League back-to-back semi-final, and that was last year and this year under Mikel Arteta. And Mikel Arteta said it crystal clear that they are going to win on Saturday night. But boy, oh boy, when you have an attack that have scored 44 goals, in fact, if PSG scores another goal on Saturday or 2, they will look on and break Barcelona's record since 1999, where they scored 45 goals in the same Champions League season. And you look at the Wolf Ball of the Ousmane Dembele, if you look at the starting 11 of combined starting 11, maybe the likes of David Raya, you want to look at maybe Gabriel and maybe Saliba, depends on who you want to choose. You think Nuno Mendes definitely gets that space in the midfield. There's Vitinha, you have to find a space to put Declan Rice, but after that, nothing else. Up front, there's Ousmane Dembele. Up front, there is Kvaratskhelia. Up front, there is
Desiree Doué.
There's Desiree Doué, and Desiree Doué is a big game player.
He could struggle
he could struggle against Mans. He could struggle against Lyon. He could struggle against Lille. But when it comes to the Champions League night, he knows how to enjoy the moment. And because both of them are also French and English champions, both of them have won the leagues of their countries, and so it's a game of, it's a champion champions final,
and
a proper champions League night, where champions of their respective clubs, countries, leagues are coming to square it up. So when I said the attack versus the defense, it's not like Arsenal have not scored goals. I said 29 goals. Martinelli with 6 goals, the highest goal scorer this season.
Arsenal,
But the problem is this: if Arsenal scores first, would they be able to contain the pressure of PSG's attack when Dembele is coming in, Kvaratskhelia is coming in, Desiree is also coming in? We say there's goal in every single space of that PSG team, except their goalkeeper. From Ashraf Hakimi that can get a goal. He got a goal in the last final.
In the last final, exactly.
And then there's also
he scored the first goal.
Mendes, arguably the best left back in the world at the moment. So there's a lot of quality in that side. But games like this, there are also 2 Spanish managers, by the way.
Mikel Arteta and
Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique is experienced. He won Barcelona's last Champions League with
2015.
them, and he's also won the Champions League with PSG. He's back again in the final, back to back. They said they want to replicate, and they want to become the first team apart from Real Madrid to win back-to-back Champions League final. For Arsenal, if they win it this time around, and they will move from the Invincibles, the team that went the entire season unbeaten, to the unforgettable, the team that delivered their first major European trophy in 61 years and their first ever Champions League in the history of the club. So it's a game that the neutrals would enjoy. I'm going to be sincere with you. And for people that want to do banter, you understand why? Oh, it's Arsenal. They don't want. Especially for Chelsea fans, Man U fans, because the only bragging rights that Chelsea would have over Arsenal now is you've never won the Champions League. And then Arsenal fans, if they win it, they'll tell Chelsea that you've never won Champions League and Premier League the same season before. So from next season, it's a different level of banter if Arsenal wins the Champions League this season. But again, the pressure is off Arsenal. I didn't mean they've not won the league, and then they have to come into the Champions League as the only trophy they could win. That means they are under immense pressure. Already they have an outstanding season, winning the Champions League, winning the Premier League for the first time in 22 years, scoring 71 goals, winning the league with 7 points against Man City in a league that was expected to be decided on goals difference. They ended up winning the league with 7 points. So it's been a massive season for them. So they play with a little less pressure. Let's see which of their players will be back. Mikel Merino is back. I'm not sure if Timber will be fit.
He's not going to be fit, but he's been included in Netherlands World Cup squad.
Of course. There's also Ben White is out, so there's a possibility that if Timber is not fit, Mosquera would have a lot of work to do. So imagine Mosquera versus Kvaratskhelia. If it's going to be Calafiori, imagine Calafiori versus Ousmane Dembele. Or you can put your money on the fact that Saliba and Gabriel would handle whatever pressure that is coming. But PSG is a winged team.
But then the fluidity of PSG.
Gabriel and Saliba can handle any attack. 6 goals all through the entire Champions League season.
Let me come to you as well, Triple, very, very quickly. I don't know if you listened to Ronald Koeman's World Cup interview when he was selecting the players for the World Cup. By the way, 15 Premier League players out of the 26 man of Netherlands playing the English Premier League. And Ronald Koeman made a claim. He said Arsenal won the Premier League because of their set piece ability. Now, how crucial will set piece come, right, for this game, either for Arsenal or either for PSG?
Consider the highest number of goals from set pieces as well.
So how crucial would the set piece be deciding where this final goes to, Triple?
I think for Arsenal, they have a very good set piece record, but I disagree with Coleman that Arsenal won the league based off of set pieces. Arsenal scored about 70-something goals in the league this season, and only 19 of those goals
from set pieces.
Arsenal scored around 20 goals in all competition this season, and how many of them have come from set pieces?
I think the set piece thing, maybe because of how Arsenal have converted set piece, because of the theatrics they do, the dark art football, the football from hell that they play. When
Tony Pulis type of football.
Stoke City kind of football.
It has angered a lot of people, and they are not looking beyond the numbers. If we look at even in Europe in general, I'm not certain of the number, but I don't think it's Arsenal, the team that have scored the most set piece this season. For set piece, we've seen managers at Matt Arteta when it comes to set piece, and that's what I think PSG would do. Maresca did show that while he was at Chelsea, where he had the Chelsea wingers, stay halfway. He allowed them to leave the 18-yard box of Chelsea while defending that set piece. He put them high up the field, which means any ball that comes in, they are in their own half. So anybody that comes in, if they are able to get it out there, Arsenal will be conceding a counter situation where it will be the goalkeeper to to the opposition attackers. So in that situation, we saw that many times Arteta will now have to call back some players.
Yeah.
And once they call back some players, like 2-3 of them, they can no longer cause chaos in the opposition box. That's what we saw Maresca do in that game against Arsenal, the first leg in the league, and it worked. Arsenal's ability from the set piece of causing chaos and all their tricks, they needed to. You cannot have
your opposition in your half, and then you are still trying to.
So if you bring that to a Paris Saint-Germain team, imagine PSG keeping Kvaratskhelia and Doué,
and maybe Dembele,
keeping them up front, still in their half, because they cannot be in an outside position.
Exactly.
Arteta will have to call back Gabriel.
Some of the players.
And Gabriel is their best defender when it comes to 1v1 match. I think he's better than Saliba. They complement each other. But I think the man Arsenal cannot do without is Gabriel, not Saliba. And for set piece, yes, it will come. It's part of the game. Set piece goals are part of the things. But you have to also look at the PSG defense. Pacho is a very tall,
very difficult defender to beat.
He's been so underrated this season.
Even since the beginning of last season as well.
He's been consistent since the beginning of last season.
He's also Marquinhos.
So whatever Arsenal can do with the set piece, PSG don't need set piece passes. And PSG have also shown that they can score set piece.
They can score.
Don't forget, they have players that can put the ball in the perfect height for their players. Against Bayern, we saw one of the shortest men on the field.
Johannes.
Scoring a header. You would not want to believe that short man.
How was the ball able to get to Johannes?
No, but Lionel Messi did it against Manchester United. Having Vidic and Rio Ferdinand and the goal header amongst them.
That's true.
That tells you the quality of delivery that PSG players also have. I think for Arsenal, the first goal in this game is going to be very important.
Very important.
If Arsenal scores first, then they can, because PSG needs spaces to play. One thing Maresca did against PSG in that Club World Cup final
was to lock the spaces.
He attacked spaces.
PSG
will come and suffocate you. So when you are busy trying to stop them, you cannot be thinking of going forward. So what Maresca did is put players in front.
Space. And Arsenal scores. They make it difficult. They slow the pace of the game.
The predictions very quickly,
and decisions, tactical selections are going to be very key for
very important.
Against a PSG side that you will also need to attack spaces. Trossard has been playing well, but you will need Martinelli.
Of course.
For his space.
You will need Martinelli for his space. And
I need someone to pin Hakimi back.
Yes.
That's the thing.
And
you cannot
the
overlapping of Hakimi.
That's the thing.
But that's difficult.
If you think you are going to pin Hakimi down, it's going to be hard, because
you still have to look at from that side too.
So in the end, Arsenal are going to do what they have to do. One thing is, it might come down to tiny details. It might come down to errors. It might come down to
individual brilliance.
And I have a very big belief that individual brilliance
is going to win this game.
Whether it is going to come from a Gabriel,
a
lot of players who can decide the game.
Whether it's going to come from a Gabriel's header, whether it's going to come from a moment of sheer brilliance from
maybe Dembele. That's for
Arsenal. Or
maybe Odegaard.
Kvaratskhelia is the hottest player in the Champions League this season.
Right now.
He's unstoppable. And the way he moves, he dribbles you.
Unpredictable.
He reminds me of Ronaldinho. Not slowing down.
He's coming to dribble
you. I will still dribble you. But you want to call it short very quickly.
You already know.
Okay, you want to call it short quickly. Very quickly.
Let him call now. Are you scared of him?
I think PSG are going to win. I think it's going to be both teams to score. It's going to end in 90 minutes. I think we are also going to see an over 3.5 goals.
Maybe Okay, what about you? I know you're an Arsenal.
It's going to be a solid moment. First off, for the neutrals, I'm really envious of you guys. You would have a good time.
Yeah,
you'd enjoy yourself. But I think Arsenal would nick this one. They would probably consider Vieira is also one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. So I think it's a 2-1 victory for Arsenal.
2-1 victory for Arsenal.
Quick one for those that are used to the customary 8 p.m. kickoff.
It's 5 p.m.
Before you go and watch highlights.
Trophy handover. All right, guys, you have to leave very, very quickly. We are very, very sorry we couldn't pick and then take your calls. But obviously, for tomorrow, the show is going to be in Yoruba. So you can join, what's his name now? Game Changer tomorrow from 6 p.m. down to 8 p.m. We'll be taking a lot of calls tomorrow, as well as previewing the UEFA Champions League clash that will be coming up by 5 p.m. at the Puskás Arena right there in the city of Budapest on Saturday. Thank you so much, guys. The English edition of the show will return same time, same station on Monday, 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. Up next is Way Back Waves with Rio. Have a wonderful time out, and then see you guys next week. Bye bye.